Welcome. My name is Sandra, and I'm excited to show you new features in NPA Works. Please note that some of the features will need to be turned on or off. Contact support at codemetro.com to turn features on or off and to make any necessary adjustments to user roles. Let's get started. Let's begin by exploring the new Run page. You will notice a new feature box in your Run page. Simply click anywhere in this feature box and you're going to be taken to a list of videos and how-to documents. Simply scroll down, look for the feature you're interested in, click on the link, and the how-to document and the video will be displayed. Users now have the ability to reset a forgotten password. Let's watch a video that shows us how to reset a forgotten password.
Welcome! This video will show the user how to retrieve a forgotten password in NPA Works. Beginning on your NPA Works login screen, click on the Forgot Password button, located under the Login button. The Forgot Your Password window from NPA Go will be displayed. Enter your user ID you used to log into NPA Works with, then enter the email address that is associated with your account. Next, click on the Send Email button to have the system send you an email to reset your password. If you have entered the correct user ID and email address, a confirmation page will be displayed. This is confirming that an email is on its way to help you retrieve your password. Once you receive the Forgot Password email, click on the link or copy and paste the address into your browser's address bar. With the Reset Your Password window displayed, enter your new password. Note, your new password must meet the secure password requirements in order to be set. Enter your new password one more time for verification purposes. Then, click on the Reset button to reset your password, or click on the Cancel button to close the page without resetting your password. If you click on the Reset button, a confirmation page will be displayed. Simply click on the Close button to close this page. Lastly, a confirmation email will be sent to the email address you provided earlier. Congratulations! Your forgotten password has now been reset.
Let's get into NPA Works. We have updated our homepage. We've added new shortcuts to the toolbar, and we've brought back tooltips. So simply hover over an icon to see a description of the feature. Let's open up our Flexible Reporting tab. We've updated our Flexible Reporting tab. We now have categories to choose from. To see the list of reports, simply click on the Expand Collapse button. A list of reports will be displayed. Select the report that you're looking for. The parameter box is going to open up. Once this parameter box is open, go ahead and type in the parameters that you need. Now that we have the parameters, let's run the report and let's talk about the icons. This button right here is the Save button. This will save any report that you're on currently. This next icon is going to be the Save As button. This is a new feature in NPA Works. You're now able to save a report and rename it. Let's click on the button. When the Save As button is selected, a new window will open up. This will allow you to rename a report. So come right over here, you can rename the report to anything that you like. So if you use this report to do payroll checks, simply type in payroll checks. Below that, you have the option to add a description. Once your description has been added, you can click on Save. Saving a report will add it to the category that you have open. So you'll see that our payroll checks report is now listed. Now, also new to flexible reporting is the ability to add a report to your favorites. Simply select the report, scroll down, click on the heart, and your report will be added to the favorite categories. One of the nice features in this new version is that you're able to save multiple versions of a given report. For example, if you use Appointments Admin Report to check for cancellations, you can save that report by calling it a cancellation report. Now, if you need another version of Appointments Admin and you want to call that one Payroll Checks, you can go ahead and do so. All three of these reports can have different parameters as well as different columns. Let's go ahead and take a look at the other icons that we have in flexible reporting. This here is going to be our Run button. Click on it. Your results will be generated right over here. The button right next to it is used to export information to Excel. Next to that, we have the copy feature, and there are different options that you could choose from. Next to this icon, we have a printer. This will allow you to print a given report. Next to the printer, we have the columns option. Notice that the columns are no longer displayed next to the parameters. In order to adjust the columns, simply click on the columns options and the column options box is going to open up. Here, you can click on any of the items that you want to include in the report, or if there's anything you want to remove, simply unselect that column. Go ahead and click on OK to save your columns, and then you can run the report again. Now, let's go back and let's continue talking about the favorites category. When you are done with a report, if you no longer need to have that report in the favorites, all you need to do is come right here to the bottom and delete the report from your favorites. A window's going to pop up. It's going to ask you if you are sure you want to delete the report. Click on Yes to delete the report from your favorites. You can always go back and recreate a new report. If you need to edit a report that is saved in your favorites box, simply select the report that you need and click on the pencil. That will allow you to make any necessary adjustments either to the name of the report or to the description. Let's go ahead and close out of this box and we'll move on to our next feature. Our next feature is the scheduling matrix. The scheduling matrix is used to view scheduled appointments for several staff or clients for a specified date range at one time. Let's take a look at a video that shows us how to use the scheduling matrix.
Once the scheduling matrix button has been selected, a filters page will be displayed. There are several options that can be set here. If you're using the feature from NPA Go, you will notice the back arrow, which takes you back to the home page. The information or help icon displays a help message explaining the filters page. Below these buttons, you will see Staff, Client. Here, determine if you want to use the scheduling matrix to view staff or client schedules by choosing either Staff or Client. Use the Office filter to select one or more offices to view in the calendar page. Please note, selecting offices is based on the user's access role. You could use the Region filter to select one or more regions to view in the calendar page. Note, The region filter uses the entered data in the city field of the staff's record. To set the date range, click on the Calendar button to display a mini calendar. Here, select the date range you wish to run in the scheduling matrix. The Today button will set the date range for the current date only. Use the drop-down menus to select one, multiple, or all options to view schedules for staff members and/or clients. One, multiple, or all services can also be selected by using its drop-down menu. If you would like to restore the defaulted filter values, simply click on the Reset button. Lastly, click on the Run button to view the data in the Scheduling Matrix calendar page. Let's now review the information displayed in the Scheduling Matrix. The back arrow will return the screen to the previous page. The Refresh button will reload the information set on the Filters page. Use the Filters button to return to the Filters page. If at any time you need a quick refresher on what the scheduling matrix is, simply click on the Help button to display an informative message. Next, either staff or client will be highlighted to indicate you have selected to view either staff or client schedules. The selected date range will be displayed on the upper right side. Next, the time of day is displayed. Use the Expand and Collapse buttons to view the appointments for each specific day. Next to the date, you will see either the staff or client count for the day depending on which schedules you choose to view. In the main portion of the screen, you will see the scheduled appointments. Please note, appointments initially display as outlines until you have validated the appointments. Total days, at the bottom left of the screen, will show the total number of days within the selected date range. The total number of staff or clients will be displayed as well, depending on which scheduling matrix view you are using. Now, let's discuss validating appointments. When the calendar page loads, the appointments appear as outlines. Click on the Validate Appointment button to validate all appointments for the days that have been expanded. Once the page has finished processing, the outlined appointments will be filled in based on the color scheme within NPA Works. Once the appointments have been validated, you can click on an appointment to view additional details, such as appointment time, staff or client names for service appointments, and the location of the appointment. If you are viewing a non-service appointment, you will see the subject line of the appointment instead of a service name. If there are overlapping appointments on the staff or client schedule, they will be displayed as a light purple appointment. Click on the overlapping appointment to view all of the appointments and their additional details. Lastly, Appointment Types filter is located on the bottom of the screen. Use the filter to display one, multiple, or all types of appointments. Simply click on the Appointment Type button to display the drop-down menu. Then click on and off each appointment type name to deselect or select the appointment types you wish to display in the scheduling matrix. Note, this is only enabled once appointments have been validated. You are now ready to use the scheduling matrix. Remember, this feature can be used to view staff or client schedules.
Now that we know how to use the scheduling matrix, let's take a look at the payroll snapshot. Users can now see a snapshot of a staff member's payroll information. This information is going to be listed under payroll hours. Simply hover over the payroll hours for a given staff member. When you're hovering over that box, you're going to see a new box open up. The desired hours will be displayed. I'll show you where the desires are being pulled from. It also shows you the scheduled payroll hours, as well as the completed hours, and if the staff member has OT hours, we will be able to see that information as well. Let's take a look at the next staff member. And when we hover over this particular staff member, the first thing that we notice that in the box, you'll see OT in red in parentheses. That lets us know that this particular staff member has OT hours scheduled for this date range. To see detailed information, hover over the hours and the payroll information is going to show up. Here, we see the desired hours for this particular staff member. Their desired hours is 28. Their scheduled payroll hours is 42.5 hours. 15 of those hours have been completed. And this staff member has 2.5 hours of OT time. To see the information for a different date range, simply click on the calendar, adjust your dates, and the information will be displayed. Our next feature is going to be the Scheduling Genie. The Scheduling Genie was designed to assist with the scheduling process. We know that some clients need staff that can do certain things. For example, some clients need staff that can lift 50 pounds. Some clients need staff who can work with challenging families, can run after an eloping client. We usually rely on schedulers or spreadsheets to keep track of this information. Let's watch the Scheduling Genie in action.
Welcome. This video is to instruct the user how to use the Scheduling Genie in NPA Works. This feature helps with assisting with your scheduling process. There are 3 portions to the Scheduling Genie: creating attributes, assigning them to staff members, then using the Genie for a client. To get started, first select the Edit button located on the top toolbar of your NPA Works main screen. In the Edit drop-down menu, select Scheduling Genie Attributes. The Scheduling Genie Attributes window will be displayed. Attributes are used to identify the needs of your agency's clients. To add an attribute, click on the Add Attribute button located on the right of the window. A blank attribute will be added to your list of attributes. First, select the attribute sentence by selecting Can, Has, or Is from the drop-down menu. Next, enter the attribute in the attribute name field. Once these have been completed, you can enter a shortened version of the attribute name in the Short Name field for organizational purposes. To edit an existing attribute, click on the Edit icon located on the top right of the window. A message will be displayed warning you that all profiles will be updated for any edited or deleted attributes. Click Cancel to return to the Scheduling Genie attribute screen. Click OK to be able to edit your attributes. Any existing attribute can be edited by choosing a new verb from the drop-down list, or by typing in the attributes field. If you wish to delete an attribute, click the X button located to the left of the attribute. Please note that editing or deleting attributes will result in the attribute being updated or removed from all client and staff profiles that it has been previously used on. Once all attributes have been set, click the Save button located on the bottom right of the window. Let's now assign the attributes to a staff member. On your NPA Works main screen, select Staff, located on the left of the screen. The staff list will be displayed. Highlight the staff you wish to assign attributes to. Then select the Scheduling Genie icon located on the top toolbar. The Scheduling Genie Staff Attributes window will open. To give a staff member an attribute, click on the Toggle button. An attribute can be deselected by clicking on the Toggle button one more time. For the language attributes, use the drop-down menu to select the specific language the staff speaks. If a new attribute has been added, you will see a new label to the left of the attribute. Please note that when a new attribute is added, it must be selected for each staff member you wish to use it for. Lastly, to fully use the Scheduling Genie, the staff availability will need to be set. This can be done by simply clicking on the Update Availability button, which will open the staff member's schedule. Click Save to save your work and close the window. Now that attributes have been created and set for the staff member, we can move forward to using the Scheduling Genie for a client. Select Clients on your NPA Works main screen. Then highlight the client's name you wish to use the Scheduling Genie for. Click on the Scheduling Genie icon located on the top toolbar. The Scheduling Genie window will be displayed. Click on the Update Availability button to open the client's schedule to add or update their availability. Note, the client's availability needs to be set in order to generate an accurate result. On the Attributes section of the Scheduling Genie, click each attribute's toggle that fit the needs of the client. For the language attributes, use the drop-down menus to select the languages that the client speaks. Select the required checkbox to the right of the attribute if there is an attribute that a staff member must have. For any newly added attributes, you will see a new label to the left of the attribute. Please note, when a new attribute is added, it must be selected for each client in order for it to be used. After the attributes have been chosen, move on to the Find Matching Staff section of the Scheduling Genie. In the Service Needed field, use the drop-down menu to select the service that the client needs a staff member to complete. In the Staff Located Within field, enter the miles for the distance to be calculated from the client's default service location and the staff's home address. Please note, the distance will be calculated in a straight line between the two locations. The Search Dates From line will allow you to search for a staff in a specific time period. Use the mini calendars located next to the dates to select a specific beginning and end date. Otherwise, these fields will be defaulted to display the current date and the final day of the contract. If you wish for the Scheduling Genie to also search for staff that are inactive, have incomplete credentials, or have expired credentials, then click their corresponding toggle. Once the Find Matching Staff criteria has been set, click the Search button. Now the results of the search will be displayed. The staff members that most closely match that client's attributes and their matching criteria will be listed first. To increase the size of the Results tab, you can click on the Maximize button located in the right corner of the screen. The results will show the staff member's name, availability percent, miles from the client, and the attributes fulfilled by the staff. Click on the Expand button to see the extended results for all attribute columns. If you wish to hide the columns, click on the button again. The number of result pages and items per page will be displayed at the bottom. To export the results page to Excel, click the Export button in the bottom left of the page. You can compare a client's availability to more than one staff member. To do this, click on the selection box next to each staff member's name, then click on the Compare Availability button. The Compare Availability window will be displayed. The window will display the time of day, the date range, and the individual days within the date range. In the main area of the window, the client's availability will be displayed first, followed by each staff member that has been selected. This way you can visually analyze how best to schedule the client with the chosen staff members. Click the Back button located on the bottom right to return to the Scheduling Genie. Lastly, to save the client's attributes, their matching criteria, and to close the window, simply click Save in the lower right corner of the Scheduling Genie.
Our next feature is called NPA Forms. NPA Forms is a powerful document management system that allows your staff access to specific templates. Upload your templates to the system, and your staff can edit, save, and share them in a secure fashion. Please note that there is a 50-cent charge per month per uploaded form. If you are interested in using this feature, please contact support at codemetro.com. We will email you an addendum to your agreement. Once the addendum is returned to us, the feature will be turned on. Let's watch the NPA Forms video.
To access NPA Forms within NPA Works, you will need to be either in a client, staff, or funding source record. On the NPA Works main screen, click on either Client, Staff, or Funding Source from the left-hand side. For this example, we'll be accessing NPA Forms from a client record. With the client list displayed, select the client's name whose record you wish to edit. To enter the record, simply hit Enter or double-click on the client's name. the record will be opened. Click on the Notes and Issues tab. In the middle portion of the record, click on the MPA Forms button. The MPA Forms page will be displayed. Here, the user can decide to upload a new form, fill out a blank form, or edit an existing form. Let's review uploading a PDF document first. In the Upload area of the screen, you can either select a PDF to upload by clicking in this area or by dragging and dropping. The File Upload window will appear and will give the user the opportunity to enter information about the form. Please enter a name for the form in the Name field. Use the drop-down menu to select a form type. A brief description of the form can be entered in the Description field. Once these fields have been completed, click on the Save button to save your work. Next, we will review filling out a blank form. Returning back to the MPA Forms page, click on the Fill Out Blank Form button. A list of available forms will be displayed. You can search for a form by typing into the search box. You are also able to choose a document type from the drop-down menu to narrow down the search. To fill out a form, simply select a form name from the list. Then click Next in the lower right corner. The blank form will be displayed. Click on each field of the form to enter your data. Once this has been completed, click Next to proceed. Before moving on, let's review the preview screen. A preview button is located at the top of the form page. You can click on the preview button to review what the completed form will look like. Note, when using Internet Explorer, a preview will be downloaded to the browser. Please open the download in order to preview the form. Once the document has been previewed, either click on the back arrow in the upper left corner to return to the form, or click Next in the lower right corner to move forward. The Save Form window will now be displayed. This is where you will set a save location and add information about the form. You can either save the form to the entity it was already associated with, or select another entity to save the form to. The latter will be covered later in this video. Enter the name of the form in the Save As field. Note, this is a required field. The Summary field is optional and is where you can enter a brief summary of the form. Next, a description of the form can be added. Again, this is optional. If you would like to add an optional expiration date, either enter a date in the field provided or select a date from the mini calendar. Click on the selection box if you would like to add a warning for the expiration. This selection is optional. As mentioned earlier, you can choose to save the form to another client, staff, or funding source. To do so, click in the Select Other field. With the drop-down menu displayed, choose either Client, Staff, or Funding Source. Once selected, a window will be displayed. Here you can search for the needed entity or choose the entity from the list. Once the entity has been selected, click the OK button in the lower right corner. Returning back to the Save Form screen, the name of the newly selected entity will now be displayed in the Save To area. Click on Save in the lower right corner to save the form. Next, you will receive a confirmation page that states the form was saved. Please click either Back to Template to take you back to the list of blank forms, or Close to close the page. Now, let's go over viewing or editing a previously filled out form. Starting on the MPA Forms main screen, click on View or Edit Form. A list of forms associated with the selected entity will be displayed. From here, simply follow the process of completing the form as mentioned earlier in this video.
Our next feature is the Contract Fulfillment Snapshot. This feature will allow you to have a quick glance of how many hours have been completed or is needed for a client's contract. The Contract Fulfillment Snapshot can be accessed per appointment on either the client's or the staff calendar. Let's take a look at the Contract Fulfillment Snapshot. From NPA Works, click on a client or a staff. I'm going to go ahead and click on a client. I'm going to open up their schedule. The contract fulfillment snapshot is located right over here. Notice that when I open up the schedule, the information will be blank. To display the information, you'll need to click in an appointment. Once an appointment is selected, then the contract fulfillment will display the information. Clicking on the appointment will display the information for the selected appointment only. Simply click on another scheduled appointment if the client is authorized for more than one service or you wish to see the information for a later time. Let's talk about the information that we can see from the contract fulfillment snapshot. The first thing we have is the service. This is the name of the service display code. Next, we have the date. The date range displayed is based on the authorization frequency. Appointment duration. This is the duration or length of the appointment. Appointment service time. Here you can see the amount of service time of the appointment. Authorization frequency. The frequency of the selected service appointment is shown here. Authorized hours. This is the authorized hour of the service selected. Projected hours. If projected hours are entered for the selected service within the client record, then it will be displayed here. Scheduled ST hours. This will show the amount of scheduled service time for the date range displayed. Rendered ST. This will show the rendered hours of service time for the date range displayed. Remaining authorization hours. The remaining authorized hours are calculated by the authorized hours minus the scheduled hours. Remaining projected hours. If projected hours are being used, then the remaining projected hours are calculated by the projected hours minus the scheduled hours. Please keep in mind the following while using Contract Fulfillment Snapshot. The snapshot can also be viewed within the staff's schedules and will display the appointment information pertaining to the selected client appointment. The Contract Fulfillment Snapshot will not be displayed for ATAP users. Some of the new features can be accessed via NPA Go. To reset a forgotten password from NPA Go, click on the Forgotten Password link. Let's log in to NPA Go to see these features. If you are logged in to NPA Go using a PC, you'll notice new icons at the bottom of the page. To view forms, simply click on the Forms icon. To view Scheduling Matrix, click on the Scheduling Matrix icon. If you are logged in to NPA Go on a mobile device, you'll notice that the view will be a little bit different. You will no longer have the icons at the bottom of the page. Instead, you'll have a hamburger menu located in the top corner. Click on the hamburger menu to access forms as well as Scheduling Matrix. We are getting close to the end of our training. I'm going to be covering two other features: how to use bundled T-code services and how to generate multiple PVR forms at one time. If you do not use T-codes and PVR forms, you may log out at this time. Otherwise, let's move on to T-codes. Users can now schedule one bundle T-code service that includes the first 30 and additional service appointments. With this feature, you no longer have to schedule one appointment for the first 30 and another one for the ongoing. If you are using the bundled T-codes, one appointment will schedule both appointments at the same time. Let's watch the How to Use Bundle T-Code video.
Welcome! This video is to instruct the user how to create and bundle T-Code services inside a funding source for MPA Works. This process will need to be repeated for each office that the user will use the bundled T-Code feature. Let's start with adding the bundled services. Note, this will require that the initial and additional service are already entered in your list of services. On the main screen of MPA Works, click on Services in the desired office. Your list of services will appear. Click the Add button located at the top left of the screen to add a new service. Enter the service name and the display code name of the bundled service in the fields provided. To avoid confusion, we recommend that the name be similar to the initial and additional T-Code services. Click OK to save the new bundled service. Remember, a new service will need to be added for each bundled service that you wish to enter. Once all of the desired bundled services have been created, they will need to be added to each funding source. From the MPA Works main screen, select Funding Sources located on the left-hand side. Double-click or press Enter on the funding source that you wish to add the bundled service to. With the Funding Source record display, click on the Services tab. Here, you will see the list of services that the funding source provides. Be sure to have the initial and additional T-Code services checkbox selected with all necessary information entered. To add the bundled service to the funding source, check the bundled service. Then, scroll to the right of the screen and select the CPT code field. In the CPT code dropdown, select the corresponding combined CPT code. If you do not see your desired combined CPT code, please contact your account manager to have it entered into the CPT code master list. Click OK to confirm the CPT code. Note, if any of the values in the initial and additional T-Code services are not the same, besides display code, mileage, or vendor ID, you will receive an error message explaining which fields need to be reviewed. Once all errors have been corrected, the bundled CPT code will try to link the initial and additional services with the bundled service. The services that could be included in the bundled service will be displayed in the bottom right corner of the screen. Next, the desired initial and additional services will need to be selected. If the bundled service can only find one possible match for each initial or additional service, then the services will automatically be checked. Otherwise, please select the initial and additional service you wish to bundle. Next, when a funding source has at least one bundled service, you will find a new sorting option on the top right of the Services tab. This button will alphabetically sort the bundled services while showing which services they include. Note, this will be the default sorting view when you open the funding source. To change the sort order, simply click on a column name. This will sort the services in that column without showing the services as bundled. To return to the bundled view, simply click on the Bundled Service View button. After you have bundled your chosen T-Code services, be sure to save your work and close the funding source record by clicking OK, located on the bottom right of the screen. Please remember that each bundled T-Code service you wish to use will need to be entered per funding source.
There are a few things to keep in mind as you transition to using T-Code bundles. The services will need to have the same rate. This feature will not work if you are paid different rates for the first 30 service and a different rate for ongoing. It is best not to use this feature if your authorization requires that you only bill one first 30 unit per authorization or one first 30 unit per week. There are two ways to transition to using bundled T-codes. The best way to transition is to add your service bundles and transition clients to bundle services when a new authorization comes in. The other way is to terminate the current authorization as of a given date and then enter a new service using T-code bundles. Remember to only add the hours left from the previous authorization. Last but not least, let's talk about PVR forms. We now have a way to print multiple PVR forms at one time. Let's watch the video to show us how to print multiple PVR forms at one time.
This video will show the user how to use the new PVR features in NPA Works. To use the additional PVR features, which adds the ability to generate several reports at one time, the user must have access to the menu bar. If you would like access to the menu bar, please contact your support account manager. PVRs can be generated in bulk for the daily service log, parental verification of service, PVF report with subtotals, ATAP SVF, and LA Care. This can help with the efficiency of gathering and sending multiple reports to a funding source. Please note, the existing PVR reports are still accessible via the staff calendar. To begin, start on the main screen of your NPA Works. Click on the Reports button located on the top menu bar. With the Reports drop-down menu displayed, click on Verification Forms. This will display the Service Log Styles and Options window. Please note, by default, the last report used will be displayed when the Service Log Styles and Options window is opened. Choose a report type you wish to use by using the drop-down menu in the top left corner. The Daily Service Log, Parental Verification of Service, and the PVF report each provides a list of services that have been or will be provided. Note, there will be one report for each combination of client, staff, funding source, and service. The PVF report with subtotals will provide a list of services that have been or will be provided, displayed with the subtotals of total time of the appointments and the applicable mileage. There will be one report for each combination of client, staff, funding source, and service. ATAP SVF and LA Care reports are region-specific options that provide a list of services that have been or will be provided. The date range for all report types is displayed in the top right corner. To change the date range period, simply use the left and right arrows to move the date range forward and backwards. Otherwise, click on the Date Range Options button to display the period control options. It is important to select a base date as the system will calculate the date range from this date forward. You can use a mini calendar to choose your base date. The Range section is where you can choose how many days to be displayed on the report. Please choose either the entire month, half a month, or total days. If you choose total days, you have the ability to select an amount of days between 1 and 365. Click OK to set your selections. Now let's review the new PVR selection options. Please note, the selection options to generate several reports at once are based on report type. Select the Include Makeup Reference Dates checkbox if you would like to include makeup reference dates on the form. Select Show Client's ID with Funding Source, UCI, checkbox if you would like to display the client ID number. One of the service description source options can be selected to populate in the Description of Service Provided column of the PVR form. Choose Service Name to display the service name of the appointment. Choose Appointment Subject to display the subject line of the appointment on the form. The Other option allows for customization of what is populated by typing into the blank field below. Lastly, the Service Log option will display the information that has been entered on the Service Log field on the appointment. Choose one of the following service location source options to determine where the service location information is coming from. By selecting Service Authorization, the service location that has been entered in the Services tab of the client's record will be displayed. Appointment Location option will display the location entered on the appointment. Choose Other to customize the location by entering it into the blank field. Next, you have the ability to choose one of the following options to select the credential source. Primary credentials is based off of the required credential that has been selected in the funding source record for each service. All employee credentials will display the credentials listed in the Qualifications tab within the staff record. Once again, Other gives you the option to customize the credential information to be displayed on the form. You can use the bulk export options for funding sources, services, agencies, and clients. Note, the bulk export options are defaulted to select all. You can use the selection button to the right of each of these options to choose one, multiple, or all of their respective options. If round values is used, the time of each appointment will either be rounded up, normally, or down. If the format for DDS Behavioral Services is selected, a header stating State of California Health and Human Services Agency and Department of Developmental Services will be displayed on the form. Select Include Funding Source Name to print the funding source name in light gray in the upper right corner of the form. If you would like each service to be listed on different forms, select the Separate by Service Code option. Note, if you choose not to separate by service code, all codes will be printed on one form and will be organized chronologically by date of service. Use the Separate by Vendor ID option to separate the forms by each vendor ID. To add the client's UCI number to the last page of the form, select Add UCI number in last page. If you would like to display the guardian signature on the last page of the form, select Use Last Guardian Signature. In the Mutual Options portion of the window, select one of the following. Include Non-Rendered Appointments will display non-rendered light green service appointments along with rendered appointments on the form. By selecting Include Cancellation Per Appointment Status Types, RDA reporting option, all canceled appointments per your customized cancellation types will be listed on the form. Once you've made your selections for the desired report, click the Run button located on the bottom right side of the window. By clicking Run, a Generate Reports message will be displayed. This will indicate how many reports will be generated. Click Yes to generate the reports. Click No to cancel the process. If Yes is clicked on the Generate Reports message, the user will be prompted to choose a Save location. You can either select a location to save your reports, or you can create a new folder by clicking on the Make New Folder button located in the lower left corner. Click OK when the desired save location has been selected, or click Cancel to cancel the process. Next, the Choose Save Format window will be displayed. In order to proceed, please select either Combine into one zip file, which will combine all of the reports into a single zip file, or Individual Files, which will keep all of your reports in separate files. A new folder will be created in your chosen save location to ensure your reports are organized. Click Save to start the saving process. Next, the Generating Reports window will be displayed. This will show the progress of the reports being generated and saved. Please note, once you see this window, you can safely close all other windows and continue using MPA Works. If you try to close MPA Works or click Cancel on the Generate Reports progress window, the report cancellation warning message will pop up. If you click Yes, the process will be canceled and all reports that were being generated will be deleted. Click No to close the warning message and to continue the process of the reports being generated and saved. Once all of your reports are generated and saved successfully, the zip generated message will be displayed. Simply click OK to close this message. The folder that was selected as the save location will automatically open. If the zip file save option was chosen, a single zip file will be in the folder. If the individual file save option was chosen, all of the reports will be listed as individual files. Generating the PVR forms has been completed.
Thank you for joining the training. Have a great day, and if you have any other question, please contact support@codemetro.com. NPAWorks.com.